sovereignty. You just put seed sovereignty. Very, 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 very important topic. That doesn't mean that these are not important. These are also important. Normally, you don't find much of the material for this topic. For quad and AUKVS, no? Regularly, if you go through the newspapers and all, you can find the information. But whereas when it comes to this, it is very difficult. And how many of you have read the Sunday's newspaper this week? And this useless fellow is asking every week about the Sunday newspaper. How many of you have read this Sunday's newspaper? Did anyone from online students? Any online student? Have you gone through the Sunday's newspaper? In FAQ page, there was a special mention about this PepsiCo and PepsiCo issue. Have you gone through? If you studied, what you understood out of that, just give me. Anyone from online? Have you gone through the Sunday's newspaper? Recently, some judgment or some ruling came. Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority has cancelled the registration of PepsiCo. PepsiCo's that aloo variety. Any idea to online students? No one?
Sorry, it was regarding the Lay's company, right?
It was Lay's company. Do you know what exactly the issue? To some extent, not clearly.
They have a different variety of potato they are making. So it's banned now in India. Because to protect the interest of farmers in India.
Okay. So when I am asking every week, at least for the sake of me, you need to read this FAQ page, because you don't understand the importance of all these news items now, but you will definitely understand at one point of time in your preparation if you are really serious about UPSC. No, I'm just giving it in a very simple note. Don't take it so serious. But the point is that because without understanding all these things, it is very difficult. Very difficult. And do you think that you will study all these issues again until and unless you will get another issue on these plant varieties? You don't study in the newspaper. And if you study in the materials, no, you don't understand. In the context only, you will understand the text. That as I have been saying since last 4 weeks. But anyhow, I'm directly entering into this topic. See, this seed sovereignty, what does it mean? See, every product is having a patent right, and you can understand what is a patent right. Patent right means, suppose if you have invented something, as an inventor, you will own some rights on this product. And if at all you want to sell this product, you have to pay some amount of royalty to me, because it is something rewarding my geniusness or intellectuality or whatever the thing you call. This is what we call it as the patent. This is what we call it as the patent. And India is having its own Patent Act of 1970. India is having its own act called Patent Act of 1970. See, what does this Patent Act says? There are two types of patents are there. One is product patent and second one is process patent. One is product patent, second one is process patent. Product patent means once if I take a patent on the mobile phone or a cell phone, then no one should manufacture the cell phone. Only that person is supposed to. That is what product patent. Process patent means the patent is only on process but not on a product. That means a similar product can be manufactured through a different process. And at that point of time, we have only product patent, but the Indira Gandhi government has changed that product patent to process patent. So we are giving process patent in our country. That means any number of manufacturers with a different processes can manufacture a single product. You can also manufacture a COVID-19 testing kit with some technology. You can do with another technology. You can do with another technology. Such process patent has helped a lot to invent many of the things in India by the industrialists or research organizations. But in the year 1995, we have brought some changes. That change is establishment of World Trade Organization called WTO. And under the WTO, there was an agreement called TRIPS. You will study in your economy, don't worry much. TRIPS means trade related intellectual property rights. TRIPS means trade related intellectual property rights. So trade related intellectual property rights means for an inventor that whatever the right we are giving, that right must be given, that right must be protected. That right must be given and that right must be protected across the world. Across the world. That means in America, I have invented something. I got patent in America. So if suddenly it comes to India, you cannot say like, I don't respect your patent. You have to respect the intellectual properties throughout the world. Throughout the world. That is how we have agreed for TRIPS in the year 1995. And once we have agreed it in the year 1995, accordingly, we have amended our Patent Act. And how we have amended the Patent Act, we said like along with the process patent, we are also respect the product patent also, but product patents of foreign countries. That means suppose a person has manufactured something in America and he got a patent, and once he bring that item to India, we will respect it. But still India is following a process patent technique. That means if any of the manufacturer can come, see today you have seen the COVID-19 vaccines, any number of can come with their vaccine. We don't object anything, but with a different technology. You must not copy the technology of others. Then you will get that patent. So that is how when the 1970 Patent Act was brought, and because of the TRIPS agreement, we have changed it to some extent in order to align ourselves with the TRIPS agreement. We have changed our patent law. But the question is, patent is applicable to all the manufacturing goods and whatever the new innovative things. But the question was arisen, does really these patents are applicable to plant varieties? This question was arisen. Now you have to understand what is a plant variety. Now I'll explain plant variety, then I'll come to that. See, plant variety means there are some seeds traditionally stored or harvested or saved. Traditional seeds are there. See, some of the, if you want to see, there are some extinct species are there. Suppose if you want a fruit, now you don't find anywhere. Hardly if you go to the interiors of the Western Ghats, maybe you can find it out. But if that person who is holding that seed, that is a plant variety, and each and every plant seed is a different thing, and each and every type of fruit or each and every type of vegetable, everything is a plant variety. And even in the rice also, there are thousands and thousands of varieties. Each and everything is a variety. So plant variety means what are the traditional things that we are holding is a plant variety, one of the plant variety. Plant variety means some of the things which are only available in wild, but they are not available in normal areas. So the things which are available in the wild is also a one plant of variety, a plant variety under the definition of plant variety. Third one is the farmer will grow. Just assume I am a farmer growing the mangoes, cultivating, and I am doing this practice for last 20 years. In the last 20 years, some climatic changes happened. And because of some climatic changes, what happened is there were some mutations happened inside my plant, and the size of the fruit has started increasing. I haven't done anything, but because of its natural process, it has started changing. Then this is another variety. It's not the same variety that I have planted, but it's a different variety. Suppose if I sow that particular seed of that mango, then I'll get a different variety. So that is also a plant variety. Because of natural evolution process, farmers will have some of the different things. Next, I'll tell you another thing. The farmers will try to hybridize the two different plants. 2 different plants. He will try and test in his own field. He will bring, this is one plant, he will bring the branch of another plant and he will do this activity and ultimately he will get a different type of thing. Hybrid. But hybrid in the sense, hybrid needs some sort of technology. This doesn't involve any technology, just farmer do in his own farm field. It doesn't involve any technology, just normally simply farmer do, because if it goes well and if the proper genes are transmitted, then you will get some different variety. This is a plant variety, this is also a plant variety, and next one, whatever you have said hybrid is another variety, and another one is the biotechnology related is another variety. There is a difference between biotechnology and the hybrid variety. Hybrid in the sense, in the hybrid, you will do it in a scientific manner, but the selection of genes happen naturally. If you bring 2 different varieties together, but you don't know which traits of which plant will transfer to which plant, you don't know. It's all happen naturally, but you will do all permutations, combinations, you will do in a different way, but ultimately you will come up with one. But whereas in case of biotechnology or gene editing tools, specifically you will take some of the traits of other plant or other animal and you will add that particular gene or that particular component to this. Very selective. So these are all plant varieties. You can do the same varieties in human being also, animals also, but in animals it is restricted to some extent. Genetically modified organisms are not supposed in case of animals, but still some changes are happening. Now the point is, each and every one is a variety. Each and every one is a variety. Now, can I take patent on this? Can I take patent on this? This was the question. Suppose it has happened in my farm, so can I take the patent on that? Because it is I developed in the laboratory, can I take the patent? It is I collected from the wild, can I take the patent? And it is my forefathers are, since time immemorial, they are saving these seeds, so can I take the patent on this? Can a company take a patent on this through this hybrid? This was the question. This was the question. And the debate in the 1970, actually you don't have this BT technology at that point of time, but remaining things you all have. Now the 1970 Patent Act says that, 1970 Patent Act says that on plant varieties and animal varieties, you are not supposed to take the patent. You are not supposed to take the patent on animal and plant varieties except microorganisms. On microorganisms, you can take the patent, because if you don't give the patent right on microorganisms, no one develops antibiotics and vaccines and all. So for the development of that, they have kept aside. But apart from that, you are not supposed to take the patent on this. Then immediately you may ask the question, sir, if there is no patent on this, then how come inventor will really do the invention? That's a valid question. I'll come to that later. Now what happened is, okay, that is how our law says, 1970 legislation. In the year 1995, we have signed the WTO agreement, and under the TRIPS, we have to respect the intellectual property rights. Now the WTO and the world countries have started asking the question, okay, you have signed TRIPS agreement under WTO, you have to respect the intellectual property rights, but what type of rights that you are giving to? Actually, they are not concerned about all these people. They are only concerned about these two, because business interests are involved here. Business interests are involved here. And then okay. But what they do is, then everyone started asking the question, what is your strategy or what is your policy on this intellectual property rights protection? How you will give this protection to these people? Then Indian government has drafted a very beautiful legislation in the year 2001. That legislation we call as Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Act 2001. Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Act 2001. And if you clearly read this act, protection of plant varieties, we want to protect the plant varieties. We want to protect the plant varieties. But on the above, we also wanted to protect the farmers' rights. So why you need to protect the farmers' right while you are protecting the plant varieties? I'll come to that now. See, now, okay, I'm saying like, okay, plant varieties are there. Everyone can take a right or patent over that particular seed or that particular variety. Okay, as a farmer, now I have taken one particular seed from one particular person. Tomorrow, if you tell me, suppose tomorrow, if you ask me that you have to only consume, but you are not supposed to sell this seed, because patent means what? I can purchase this mobile, but I can't sell this mobile. Sell in the sense in the secondary market for the cheaper rate I can sell, but I cannot sell as it is a mobile with my brand name. I cannot sell it because this owner is something different. He has to pay royalty. No, what we have said is in India also a lot of farmers are there. So it is an agrarian society. When we started giving this patent or protection to these people may stop allowing the farmers to sell this food grain. Because if the farmer is selling a food grain to somebody else, the money is taken by the farmer, but no royalty will come to the owner. The royalty will come to the manufacturer only when he sells to the farmer. But after that, the farmer will sell that to another person. That person will sell it to another person. That person will sell it to another person. In the entire chain, there is no royalty to this. There is no royalty to that original one. So in the very first instant itself, we will get the royalty. So they may go for a legal remedy on these people if we give patent to them. So what we have thought is we don't want to give the patent to them because at that point of time our law says that there is no patent for all these plant varieties. But we will do one thing. What we will do? We will give protection to the plant varieties. That means the person who is involved in the creation, not creation. It's not a creation. No one can create the seed. It's only evolution. But anyhow, the one who is claiming the rights on that particular plant, we will provide some rights to you. But apart from that, we will provide some sort of rights to farmers. What are those rights? The farmer can sow, the farmer can sell, the farmer can sow, the farmer can harvest, the farmer can sell, the farmer can re-sow. Farmers can do all these activities. Then if all these rights are given to the farmer, then what is the protection to the inventor? The protection given to the inventor is that at any cost, this farmer should not sell his seeds in a branded manner. In a branded manner. In a branded way, he is not supposed to sell. Normally, he can sell to any person. That means a farmer, for his own survival, he can sell his seeds to other trader. A farmer, for his own survival, he can resow the same seed. A farmer, for his survival, he can harvest it. But a farmer cannot become another business entity on the name of branding. He is not supposed to sell. Okay, farmers' rights are protected. Because we are considering farmer as farmer only. We don't want to convert the farmer into the businessman because his own business interest will be affected. Okay, this is one of the perhaps the finest law in the world which can give rights to both the farmers and as well as the plant varieties. Okay, fine. Now what is the problem with this law? It's looking fine, but there is a problem with this law. That problem we understood with the case of this PepsiCo. Prior to that also we have a lot of issues, but now I'm dealing with the PepsiCo issue. So what PepsiCo has done is, PepsiCo and one more thing just before I enter into PepsiCo, the farmer can resow the seed. Now you may ask a question, sir, he purchased the seeds from the company or the agent of the company. Here we call it as inventor or whatever, the one who done that research. Breeder, we call it as breeder. Next one we are having it as the farmer. Breeder in the sense who is supplying the seeds to us. But anyhow, Sir, farmer is purchasing the seeds in the very first instant. After that, he is resowing the seeds, the same seeds which he got in the earlier crop. Then that means the inventor is getting royalty only once in his lifetime. Because the farmer will get the seeds again, he can resow, same thing is happening. But these companies are very intelligent. If you resow the seeds which are harvested with that particular seeds, it won't germinate. It won't germinate because there is a gene called terminator gene. They will disable that terminator gene. Now this can be done only through some chemical and radiation process that will be done only by the again companies. So simply a farmer has purchased a seed. Now he has harvested he has cultivated and he has harvested. And if he again resow the same seed, it won't germinate. He has to again go to that person. Again, he has to purchase the same seed for every season. That is how all our farmers are doing. All our farmers are doing. But the point is, these farmers have a right to sell these seeds to any other person. And that person can sell it to any other person. But the point is, they cannot sell it in a branded manner. Now, what happened in case of this PepsiCo is, PepsiCo company has brought some changes to these potatoes. And the hybrid potato, it is, the name is FL1867, FL2027. And we call simply with a brand name called FC5 brand potatoes. Why actually they have made these hybrid potatoes? Because they are going to prepare some chips. So for chips, you need a rounded potatoes. If the potato is of different shape, you don't get these rounded chips. So that is why they have done some changes and they got this patent. Not patent, they have protected under the plant varieties. Now suddenly 3 years back, what happened is, this PepsiCo has found out that some of the farmers are growing this particular variety illegally. That is what their point. That is what their point. They have filed a case and they wanted a compensation, some lakhs and lakhs of rupees from the small farmers. Now the question is, they have registered under this particular act, PPV and FR. But what this PPV FR said, PPV FR is saying that a farmer can sow, a farmer can harvest, a farmer can sell, a farmer can resow. And the farmers here are, they have sowing and they are resowing and they are selling outside. But they are not preparing a chips like you. They are not making a brand for that potatoes and they are not selling outside. But simply whatever the rights they have under the law, they are utilizing it. But the PepsiCo has put a different argument. What is that argument PepsiCo has put is, okay, but the point is, I am ready to supply whatever the seeds you want. I am ready to supply how much amount of seeds that you want. I am ready, I'll supply. But what PepsiCo will do is, while supplying the seed, they will write a contract. Why they will write a contract? Because whatever the harvested potatoes must be sold to the PepsiCo, because they can use it for preparation of the chips. If that particular potato went into the hands of the rival company, then they may do some little changes and they can exploit the entire knowledge of these people and they can take a different patent. They don't do different changes. They will do simply one change and they will take their own patent by showing that this is a different variety. So the PepsiCo's apprehension is that I am accepting that farmers are having a right. But the point is that I am ready to supply, but why you are doing illegally? No, they are having that right. But my apprehension is different because my varieties may getting into the hands of my rival group. How? Because farmer 1, farmer 2, farmer 3, farmer 4, farmer 5. Just assume. This farmer is having a right to sell to anybody without branding. Okay? He will sell to one person. This farmer is also having a right to sell it to somebody. Again, he will sell it to the same person. This person is also having a right. This person is having. So now he is an aggregator. He is an aggregator. On the name of a small trader, he will collect all the potatoes from all the farmers. And again, he may give it to some rivalry competitor to PepsiCo. PepsiCo. That means what PepsiCo is thinking is, whatever I have produced, whatever I have invented something in that potato, this should not be available to anyone except me. This should not be available to any other except me, because if it is goes to the others, then it may enter into my rival's hand and it may be very not business friendly for us. But that argument of PepsiCo is completely wrong. I'm agreeing that you are a businessman, you are an inventor, you have invented something, you must have a right. That doesn't mean that farmer should not have any right. That doesn't mean that farmer should not sell it to any others. That doesn't mean that farmer should not save and farmer cannot resow, because the seeds are not created one, but the seeds are not came through the invention, but the seeds are came through evolution. Seeds came through evolution, because today you may say like, this is my genetic thing and I must have a right on this, so I will get the right. But the problem here is tomorrow, just now I have given an example called, maybe your grandfather is storing some of the very valuable seeds. I'll come to your house and I will take some of the seeds, and tomorrow I will go to the Monsanto or some of the company and I will sell this seed to the Monsanto, and Monsanto will say like, I have modified something, so this is my seed, no one should not sow in this country. That problem may come. So what we are saying is, we are ready to protect your rights. If really your competitor is taking away your rights or he has stepped something, we will ready to protect. But you are not supposed to say that at any cost, farmer should not sow this. Farmer should not sow this without my permission. You are not supposed to say, because we haven't given any patent to you. We haven't given any patent to you. We are just giving some sort of rights under the Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers' Rights Act. And on the same act, the farmers is also having some of the rights. Farmers is also having some of the rights. So the point is, don't argue for the farmer, the inventor should have a rights on the seeds. It's a very dangerous argument. Very dangerous argument. Then you may ask me a question, sir, in this country, don't we have a patent to any seed? We don't have any patent to any seed in this country except BT cotton. Except BT cotton. And why we have given that patent to BT cotton? Because BT cotton was, the company took patent for BT cotton not in India but in America. They have taken in America. Now under the TRIPS agreement, we have to respect that intellectual property rights, and the case went to the Delhi High Court. The case went to the Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court said like, in India we are not supposed to give any patent to any seed, so this license is cancelled. You don't have any patent in India, you are not supposed to collect any royalty in India. That is what Delhi High Court said. Again, the case went to the Supreme Court. In the Supreme Court, the company argued that, see, your High Court is arguing that I should not have any patent on this particular seed, but I have done some changes to the seed, and as a process patent is available in India, don't I have a right to take a patent on a seed which I have brought some extra trade to this seed? Then Supreme Court said that I am not agreeing with the judgment of the High Court of Delhi, because some chemical and biological process involved inside the seed. So the Delhi High Court argument that you should not take patent, I am not supporting that. But Supreme Court never said like, from tomorrow onwards any seed person can come and can take the patent. Supreme Court never said that. Supreme Court just quashed the order of the High Court. But we are considering it as Supreme Court has given a green signal to the taking the patents for seeds. But even today, under the Indian law, patents are not at all acceptable for seeds. But whatever the changes that we are doing as an inventor, for you, some sort of protection is given under Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Act. Is it clear? Now, they are saying the companies are saying a lot of mischiefs can be happen, like, okay, if these farmers are selling some seeds to aggregator, and suppose this aggregator is also a farmer, he is owning some 100 acres of land, and on the name of farmer he will grow much amount of the potatoes and he can sell it to the rival. See, I can agree with the arguments of companies. We must protect the investors. But if it really getting into the hands of the competitor, there you must catch it and there you must prosecute it. But you cannot say like any farmer should not grow all these crops without my permission. You are not supposed to say that. You are not supposed to say that. I'll come to the discussion again. But immediately when this case was in the court, and I think 1 week or 10 days back, the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, which constituted under this particular act, has de-recognized or removed the registration for this particular varieties of potato to PepsiCo. They said nothing doing, you don't have any registration. Now everyone will grow on their own. You don't have any registration. But some people are saying like it is something hurting the research persons. If you give such a blanket ban, then it is not at all good. Maybe they will go for an appeal, I don't know. Maybe they will go for an appeal, I don't know. But that is what the ruling. But it may be a farmer friendly. But again, it is going to create a problem with these inventors or the people who do research. You need to bring a balance between researchers and as well as the farmers. The researchers having some problem, that problems must be dealt in a different way, but not at the cost of the farmers, but not at the cost of the rights of the farmers. You have to be very careful. And what is this BT cotton? Bacillus thuringiensis. That means what? A gene from bacteria they have taken and they have added to your cotton seed. Now your cotton plant is resistant to some different pests. Okay, that red blown some pest is there to that pest. That is how they have done genetic modification. That too they have taken the patent in America. Now, see, now the point is, companies know that they don't get patent in India, but there are very strong lobby that is working in India. They are asking to bring patents in seeds also. Strong lobby is working. You don't understand all these things. You can see only Amit Shah and Modi, but behind that many people are there, lot of lobby is there. They are strongly working. But what they are doing is they are trying to take the patent in outside India. Once they have taken the patent outside India, then they can also use that patent in India also, because under the TRIPS you have to agree. That is the reason why some of the companies have tried to take the patent on neem, tried to take the patent on haldi, turmeric, and tried to take the patent on basmati by changing the name to textmati. They have tried all these things, but India has successfully contained in taking the patent to some of all these things. Taking some of all these things, then you can argue like, sir, why we need to stop all these things? Instead of, if we give the patent, then it's better. No one can use. But if you give the patent, who will take the patent? Do you think that the poor farmer will go to the patent office and he will take the patent? No. And all the MNCs come to in this country and they will go to the villages and they will search for all the seeds and they will taking patent over all the seeds. And once the patent on seed is taken, then it is very difficult for farmer to get the seed. And moreover, I will tell you, and when they try to take the patents in world countries, India has successfully stopped. And some of the activists like Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva is an activist and she has worked vehemently for these farmers' rights on these particular seeds. And now what happened is some of the MNCs, they are trying to take the patent in a back route, but we are trying to some extent, but still this process is going on. Suppose if they started taking patent, do you think that they will take the patent for every product? They don't take for every product. They will take, but they will take patent for every of the thing, but they will only supply few. They will only supply few. Suppose I'm saying in paddy, we are having 1,000 varieties. 1,000 varieties of paddy seeds are there. They will take the patent for all 1,000 seeds, but they will sell only 1 or 2 in the market because they don't produce all the 1,000 seeds for you. They know that the only alternative is the company and the only company can sell the seeds, and you have to go to the company. So is it not something the violation of the traditional rights of the farmer that Indian farmer is having? And ultimately it is leading to the biodiversity loss. Biodiversity loss. Tomorrow, if you go to the farm field, you don't find any seed except GMO seed. You don't find any seed except GMO, because everything is taken as a patent. Everything is taken as a patent if we allow that patent. You don't find these many varieties, because these many varieties you are getting seeds at a cheaper cost. That is what you're doing. But when a company is supplying all these seeds, company may not supply. So it leads to the biodiversity loss, and it also violation of the rights. And farmers cannot go to the company, farmers cannot go to the patent office, they cannot take any patent over this. So it is a very difficult problem for Indian farmers. So don't patent the seeds. But Monsanto, I think if you don't know Monsanto, just go and type the Monsanto. This Monsanto is an MNC. It is literally controlling all these seeds in the world. All these seeds in the world. And on the name of this patent, are they really taking the patent? No, they are doing biopiracy. They are doing biopiracy. You are literally taking away the indigenous technology that is there in India. What is the technology that is available to the Indian farmers? And it is, I'm not saying like someone has invented it, but because of climatic conditions, because of the geography of India, they have evolved over a period of time. But you want to theft it away. That is something wrong. It leads to biopiracy. And this Monsanto company, like MNCs, are going to take all the rights on this. We have to be very careful. Don't talk about the patenting of seeds, because it is going to have a very serious effects. Very serious effects. But there is a famous argument that is put forth by the GMOs. No, your traditional seeds, they don't give much produce. They don't give much produce. Just go with the hybrid. You will get huge amount of productivity. You can harvest more amount. Just don't. And today, if you're looking into the cotton, almost more than 90% of the cotton in this country is BT cotton. We have lost all our traditional cotton. We have some hundreds of varieties of cotton seeds were there. But unfortunately, today, no one is growing the cotton seed. Not that we wanted to go, but we said like BT cotton is so efficient, BT cotton is pest resistant, BT cotton is so productive. Now everyone is going with the BT cotton. If really BT cotton gives that much amount of profit, then all the cotton growing farmers in this country could have become the rich by this time. But why they are not becoming so rich? That means the technology, whatever you are saying, it's not an absolute solution to problem. It may be a part of solution. And now we are saying like without the GMOs, there is no food for you, because you need to grow the GMO, then only we can produce more, then only we can have the food more. But my question is, without GMO, there is no food, or because of GMO, we don't have the food? Because if you follow the GMO, tomorrow you don't have the food. Why? Because you can't take whatever you want. You can't take whatever you want. You have many varieties of rice, but tomorrow you don't have many varieties. You have only one variety or only two varieties. If you want, you can take. Otherwise, you just go to other, or otherwise you will die. Because I don't want to sell that seed, because I'm patented. So the thing is, this patent will also affect on the food security of the country, because what to grow is not in your hand, but it will go into the hands of the MNC supplier. So by taking all these points into consideration, you may talk about productivity, you may talk about climate resilience, you may talk about pest resistance, whatever it may be. They are coming up with a lot of innovation technology. We are not against the technology, but we will give only certain rights. Under PPV and FR, but we are not here to protect the patents. We are not against your technology, but we don't patent it, because there are some disastrous consequences will happen if you give a patent, if you sanction a patent. So if at all you get any question on this, maybe on the judgment of this GMO, judgment of PPF, FRA authority or anything, maybe in a temptation you feel like no, because now the climate is changing, lot of pests are attacking, so we need a different type of crop. For that we need an invention, for that you need to protect the inventor, for that you need a patent. You will go in that way, but you must basically understand that patent is different, giving some rights is different. We are here for giving some rights, but we are against the patent. We haven't given patent till now, but there are some lobbies are going on. But are you in support of giving the patent? Answer is no. Answer is no. And we are going to bring a new Seed Act. The 1966 Seed Act was there. It is of colonial, it is of socialistic model, but we wanted to bring another actor. We have tried it in 2019, but we are going to bring another Seed Act. In the upcoming Seed Act also, the right should be given to the inventor or the trader in accordance to the PPV and FR, but not in line with the TRIPS agreement and in case of the patents. Okay, so you have to be very clear about this. I think 1 or 2 points are there, but I'll discuss these points in another time with respect to new seed bill. Actually it is, but have you understood this patenting of seeds? So just go and read that Sunday's newspaper so that you can understand something. So it's much, whatever I have explained is much bigger aspect than the Sunday's newspaper, but you need to understand you are not supposed to confine only to that particular case and only to the 2001 Act, but you must have a very broader thing. I have advocated for private participation in fertilizers, but I don't advocate for in seeds. It is not something like always you must support private and always you have to oppose government. Sometimes you need to support the government in some cases also. Okay. And if you have any doubts on this, you can come personally and you can ask me. But is it clear to online students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And definitely you will get a question on this very, very important topic. Okay. Okay. Thank you then.
Amrita IAS Academy.